We are here live at the Slave Market House in Fayetteville, North Carolina, home of where African Americans were brought to the center of the city, center stage, and they were sold, bought, departed, and separated right here on the grounds of Fayetteville, in the heart in the city of downtown, for hundreds and even thousands to pass through. Thousands of slaves came in. They were ported into this location, and they were bidded on, sold upon, and stripped from their family and humiliated, almost naked, here on the center stage. And I know most of you think, okay, well, slavery's over, Dr. Kim, move on. But no, slavery is not over. As of the 13th Amendment, they put a little disclaimer at the bottom that says, if you are found to have committed a crime, then you can be placed back into slavery or servitude. And so your way of paying America off is through your labor, which is free. That is the new slavery. The question is, did you know that everyone is locked up because they've committed a crime against the state? That's right, the state of North Carolina, because what happened with slavery is it really switched hands from private ownership to state or public ownership. That's right, you yourself could own slaves. Why? Because you pay into a tax bracket called the Department of Corrections. And so many of you all don't know, but you are partially slave owners. So today, I'm going to ask you, have you been asked if you have your slave papers? Have you been pulled over in what they call a volunteer encounter or engagement and asked for your slave papers? Now, I know you said volunteer encounter. We're talking about the police department, which was the former slave patrollers. And they would ask you, do you have your freedmen's papers? They want to know if you're free or if you're not. Meaning, have you purchased your freedom? And you would have done that by having a license. Okay, after the license, they want to know, do you have guns and drugs in the car? Now, drugs and guns equivalent in today's term as cotton and guns. That's right, cotton, and it may not be the soft kind that make your clothes, but the cotton they're talking about is Oxycontin, fentanyl, crack, heroin, and anything white, just like cotton. Yes, they've moved on to King Cotton, to King Oxycontin. And so that is what they're asking you today. Do you have provisions or protection? That cotton that you have in your pocket, they're going to search and pat you down to make sure that you don't have any of master's provision. Or have you received permission to sell his provision? And he knows that you do not have permission, because he knows he have come into the black community just like in slavery, and he was able to break down the women and the men that lived on the plantation. They could not rely upon each other for protection. Why? Because they were raped. Some of them were sold without question. And today, we're still facing that same type of technique where nobody can save you, because the slave patrollers are still masterminding everything, except they changed the product. They kept the people, they changed the product. And they flooded the community with the cotton and the Oxycontin. Why? Because they need revenue. After you walked off the plantation in 1865, they've been trying to get you back ever since. They've been trying to get you back on this inside, not the outside auction block that you see here. They're trying to get you back into the field. The fields are now the plantations turned to prisons. That's right. Places like Angola were former plantations. Now they are prisons, and they were given and donated to by former plantation owners. So you see, I know it's been 150 years since 1865 and a couple of years more, but let's be honest and be real. They had no intentions of letting you go. Now, if you get caught again, they hope that you know that's your fault, because they said they gave you opportunity, but they really didn't. They made you beg and plead, and when you did work, they cheated, they lied, and they tipped the scale. That's right, they tipped the scales. The scales of justice is not in your favor. And that's why they can use you all against each other. Did you know during slavery, 2 slaves were not able to congregate together? That was a punishment, whooping, beating, lashing. You could not congregate together. But now the new name for slavery is felon. And do you know 2 felons cannot be around each other, or it's a violation? We are back at slavery, you all. And they have stripped the black family so that Big Daddy on the plantation, which is the state of North Carolina, can take care of the women while they enslave the men. And they leave a bunch of angry children behind to shoot and kill one another for value. And if they're not hunting you down, then they're recruiting you down into their institutions called basketball or athletics. That's right, you all. Nothing has changed. You're recruited or either hunted. And in today's world, we have to put a stop to modern day slavery. We have to tell the state of North Carolina, pay black people back, repair, repay, and most of all, repent. Because we know that when you repent, you will repay. And when you repay, that brings repair. And then you can stop racketeering black lives or stopping black lives so that you can racketeer their lives all over again. That's called recycled racism. So if anybody should be guilty of RICO, it is the United States of America. The United States of America is practicing racketeering racism. And we call you to stop now. We call it a ceasefire on America so that they can stop meddling in everyone else's affairs and causing chaos and criminality across the world. All right, Church of the Living God is trying to stand up and tell the truth. That's right. Put your microphones, slide over your kingdoms, come outside, hit the pavement. The byways and the highways are waiting on you to tell the truth. Because guess what? He said that he came to set the captives free, but he also came to make the crooked places straight. He never said anything about criminals, but he did say it's time to set the people free, the captives free. And obviously, we have some captives. Thank you.